Welcome back to the MMA Explorers. Today, let's get started with Jean Silva takes aim at Paulo Costa. Featherweight contender Jean Silva didn't hold back when asked about Paulo Costa during an interview with Full Send MMA. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like on this video to support the channel. Let's aim for 10 likes. There are some guys like Paulo Costa. I just don't like him. I can't stand him, Silva said. Of course, it's not like I'm going to throw down with the guy. He's way bigger than me. He'd break me. But if it were on the street, then yeah, we'd be throwing hands. Paulo Costa. It didn't take long for Costa to respond. The Brazilian middleweight went on X to clap back at Silva, writing, "You little dwarf pendejo, naughty little child, you're so small for me." The unexpected back and forth has fans buzzing. Though with Silva competing at featherweight and Costa at middleweight, a clash between the two seems unlikely. Dana White compares fighter pay between boxing and UFC. UFC President Dana White has weighed in on the ongoing debate surrounding fighter pay, drawing a sharp comparison between boxing and mixed martial arts. Speaking with Vegas PBS, White argued that while a small number of boxers walk away with massive paydays, the UFC's model ensures earnings are more evenly distributed.
The difference that I'm wondering about is fighter pay, because historically, boxers in championship matches are making a lot more than UFC fighters in championship matches. So what do you do?
Well, there's a handful of guys that always make that kind of money. When you look at the UFC, the money is spread across the entire group of guys. You eat what you kill. I mean, if you are a huge star like Conor McGregor, Ronda Rousey, many people have proven that they could sell pay-per-views, and you eat what you kill here. We also have guys that would be considered journeymen in boxing who make millions of dollars. So the whole fighter pay thing is completely not true.
Dominick Cruz reveals Dana White gave him a bribe to fight Demetrious Johnson. Dominick Cruz has made a surprising revelation about his UFC career. Speaking on the Mighty Mouse podcast, the former bantamweight champion claimed UFC President Dana White once offered him an unusual incentive before his fight against Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson. According to Cruz, Dana gave him a Nissan GTR as a bribe to take the fight.
I remember I fought you and Dana gave me a GTR for that fight, right?
Yeah, what the fuck? I never got nothing.
I got lucky, but I had to fight you on 1 month's notice after fighting Uriah Faber back-to-back on Versus that nobody was going to watch, and they're like, all right, we'll give you a GTR if you do this.
Yeah.
And it was a hard fight to go back-to-back against you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Artem Lobov believes prime Conor McGregor would have beaten Khabib Nurmagomedov and Ilia Topuria. Artem Lobov is backing his longtime teammate and friend, Conor McGregor, against two of the biggest names in the sport. Speaking to Bloody Elbow, Lobov claimed that a prime version of McGregor would have been too much for both Khabib Nurmagomedov and current featherweight champion Ilia Topuria.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, I'm a massive fan of Ilia. His style is incredible. He's incredible striking, very ballsy. He fights aggressively, comes in, fearless, good wrestling. I put him up very, very high up there. I still do think, if I'm really honest, I might be a little bit biased, but I do think that in their prime, Conor still, I think, edges it. He was honestly, just watching Conor like in his prime was incredible. He was just untouchable, and I watched him in trainings, annihilate, like fucking 5 guys in a row, one by one, they're all coming in fresh, including me, and him not even breathing heavy. Like, he was just a killer. So for me, as I said, I'm probably biased, but for me, it's hard to imagine anyone doing anything to that Conor. I feel that Conor could have bet everyone. That's for me, he could have bet even Mayweather and Khabib, that Conor. But Ilia is probably a very close second to me, right behind Conor, right behind top level Conor. But right now, Ilia is the best. There's no question about it. He's the #1 guy now, and yeah, he's so dominant and so exciting to watch, and yeah, I love watching his fights.
Jiri Prochazka sharpening his striking ahead of the Khalil Rountree fight. Javier Mendez shares story of Khabib's frustration with security escort. Khabib Nurmagomedov's longtime coach, Javier Mendez, has revealed a behind-the-scenes story highlighting the UFC legend's no-nonsense personality. According to Mendez, after an incident where security had to escort Khabib off a plane, the same officer later approached him for a photo. The request reportedly left Khabib visibly irritated.
They asked him if he was able to assist, because he was in the emergency exit. So they asked if he was able to assist, and I guess the stewardess did not clearly understand what he said, but he said he's able to do it. And because she was now she's irritated because he didn't respond the way she wanted him to respond, I guess. She got mad and she wanted him off the plane. She wanted to either move or get off the plane. So he wasn't listening to him. None of them were listening to him. So they did very wrong in what they did to him. So basically what ended up happening, they had escorted him out, and he goes, I just need you guys to explain to me why I'm capable of doing this, you know. And nope, they said, no, you either change seats or we're off the plane. Then after that, then they just wanted him off the plane. And the one thing that Khabib said that really irritated him, the whole thing was a fiasco, but what irritated him the most was the security guard was doing what he was supposed to do, kicking him out, not understanding, not even listening to Khabib about, I just want you to listen to what my reasoning. So he didn't listen to Khabib at all. But at the very end, the security guard wanted a picture with him.
So he knew.
Well, they knew who he was.
Okay.
They knew who he was.
But they are stupid.
They're stupid. They're very stupid.
Yeah.
And they deserve what they get. You know, so Khabib was, now he's irritated because you know who I am, so you're treating me like this. So no, so they racial profiled him. I don't care. I don't care what anybody says. They racial profiled him.
Yes, exactly.
Because they knew who he was. Why are you picking a celebrity?
They saw the beard, maybe they saw
they did that. So to me, that was wrong.
Joe Rogan believes Khabib is not undefeated. Joe Rogan has stirred debate in the MMA community by suggesting that Khabib Nurmagomedov's undefeated record isn't without question. Speaking on the JRE podcast, Rogan pointed to Khabib's 2012 UFC fight against Gleison Tibau as the one blemish on the Dagestani's legendary run. Before we continue, help us reach our goal of 100 subscribers here on MMA Explorers. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our daily MMA content.
Would you say Khabib was the biggest 55er?
No, Gleison Tibau.
Yeah.
And I think that's the one guy that should have beat him. If you look at the record, you know, you look at like Khabib's got an undefeated record, there's an asterisk. And that asterisk is Gleison Tibau. That was a very fucking close fight that I thought Khabib lost. But it was early in Khabib's career. You know, it was before he won the title.
But to your point, Khabib 55, biggest at like the championship level. Like,
yeah, I
Tibau
guess.
was never like world class.
No, he was world class, but he was never.
Well, I'm talking like world class in the 55 division, like top 5. He was never like tip of the spear.
Well, if you think that he almost won or could have won, he definitely could have gotten that decision over Khabib. He's right up there.
Yeah.
But he's you know,
early
after
in
a while,
Khabib's career, to your point.
Their 55 is way bigger than Khabib.
After a while, those guys, their body just can't do it anymore.
Let's wrap it up for the day. Thanks for watching.